Hey YouTube, in this video we're gonna talk about Glassfy SDK, which enables you to build, manage and grow in-app purchases in your iOS application, Android application, Flutter application and whatnot. Glassfy lets you easily manage your in-app purchases. You can check out the features it offers you. If you will go to the dashboard that they have for any project that you create, you can see the analytics for your active subscriptions, your revenue, your new subscriptions, monthly recurring revenue and whatnot. Also, it provides you with triggers, which has options like you can connect it with your Slack. If for various events, you can set out the triggers. I think it's a very powerful feature if you use it properly. It also has the paywall for remote paywall and no code paywall. It has both the options. Let's check out their documentation now, so that you can see how beautifully they have managed to bring up all the tech stacks over here, which they provide their solution for. So you can see that if you want to quick start with iOS installation, you can go over here. For Mac OS installation also, they have properly documented everything. Like one thing that I found interesting was when I was looking for the sandbox testing documentation in their SDK, I figured that they have clearly mentioned that please do not try to test it over iOS simulator because they do not support purchasing on iOS simulator for now. Just go ahead with your real device. They highly prohibit to use the StoreGit configuration file. So they have stated out everything in very detail in their documentation. So in this video today, we will specifically talk about how you can integrate Glassfy SDK in your iOS application. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So let's create a new Xcode project and we will save it as Foodie application just so that we do not have any issues on the App Store with the name. Now we'll go to save it on our desktop. And the next step that we have to do is to install the pod for Glassfy. For that, we will head to the terminal. So let's write terminal over here and there we go. Now let's go to the directory of our project, which is on the desktop and it's called Foodie application, not application, it's Foodie app. So write Foodie app. Just check the folder if we are correct or not. Let's initiate the pod with pod in it. And then we will open the pod file and P should be capital here. So we'll correct that. Yes. Let's zoom it a bit and then we will add the pod for Glassfy. So write pod in the text, you'll write Glassfy. And then we will just indent this a little, save the file and close it. Now we will install the pod by writing pod install and just hit enter. There we go. We have the 1.3.4 version of Glassfy pod. Just close everything in terms of the project, and because we have to open the XE workspace, go back to your project and open the XE workspace file this time. So there we go. Open the XE workspace and now we are good to go with our project. For the final integration, because you can find the pods are installed, and we'll head to our app delegate now so that we can integrate so that we can initialize the Glassfy app over there, the Glassfy SDK over there. So we'll write glassfy.initialize, and this will need us to enter a API key which is available on the Glassfy dashboard. So we'll head towards that. You have to create a new project on this because we haven't yet. So we'll write it Foodie app again, and we have created a new project now on Glassfy dashboard as well. Head to the settings and here you would find the API key. Just copy this and paste it over here in your app delegate file. Paste it and we are good. And the next thing is the bundle ID. So we'll just grab the bundle ID from our Xcode project, and then we will head towards the shared secret as well. But first let's grab the bundle ID from here and paste it over here. Just save it again. Now head to your Apple dashboard, Apple developers account, where we will create a new application for our Foodie app. Let's try our luck with the name. If it is available, then we are good. If it is not, then we will make some changes to the name. For now, we'll try our luck on that. Select the language, English, US, select the bundle ID, correct one, yes. The SKU would be Foodie in this case, and then we will just create it right away. We have a problem. So we have the name issue again, which I was suspecting. So we will just make a little change in the name. We can name it Foodie Apps in place of Foodie App. So we will name that. So write Foodie Apps. Let's try again. And this time it worked. Yes, it worked. So now we'll head to the subscriptions directly inside it. and there you would find the app shared secret as well. So first we will generate a shared secret and we will copy it from here. So go to the manage tab and then generate one. Just grab it from here, just copy this and paste it on your Glassfy dashboard where in the settings we have this option. So paste it over here and save it again. Now the next thing is to create a subscription. So we'll create a subscription over here. Now let's name it VIP pack, just to be a little fancy. Let's create that, and now we will create a subscription over here inside VIP pack, which will be a monthly subscription, but the name would be premium. All right, now the product ID would be in this manner: monthly _ premium _ foodie _ the value, the price for that pack, which is in our case would be 9.99. So let's write it in that way. Make sure to follow the doc of Glassfy because they actually recommend you to go with this way in terms of the product IDs that you create. So make sure you check out the Glassfy doc. I have linked them in the description down below. Now we have created the subscription. We will add some more details to it. Just change the subscription duration, which is 1 month, save it. Now we will add the prices for that. So the prices, we will select the USD prices. It will change them accordingly for other currencies as well. Let's grab the 9.99 from the options. It takes time sometimes. So just grab the 9.99. Next, it will show us for other countries how it transform into this same amount. Yes, we are good. Next, and confirm. Alright, we'll head to the App Store localization for the same. Like, we are adding a lot of metadata to it, which is important, which is very basic. So we make sure that we are adding this data. Display name would be monthly premium because it is one, and the description would be unlock all the premium features. So let's go in that way, and then we will just add it. Alright, we have just created our monthly subscription. We are good with this step. The next thing would be to grab the product ID from here because it would be required on the Glassfy dashboard as well. So just copy the product ID because it is very important. It should be the same on our dashboard as well. So head to products. Here you can create a SKU and we will create one right away. So the SKU ID can be premium in our case. It is not that complicated, but the App Store product ID has to be same, which we just grabbed from there. So we'll paste it over here, and now we are good to save it. We'll add the permissions for our SKU that we have just created. So we'll create a permission. Just let's name it premium as well, and the description would be the same: unlock all premium features. And then we will add the SKU to it, which we just created, which is again of the name premium. A lot of premium is there. So we'll save it, and now we are good with creating the products over here on our Glassfy dashboard. You'll find on the dashboard of the Glassfy that we have a lot of options: active subscriptions, revenue, new subscriptions, monthly recurring revenue, new trials, churn rate, a lot of other types of, variety of analytics are there. So it is interesting. Alright, we are good to go ahead with creating our UI now to make the purchase. So let's create our image view first, and then we will create a button. So on the image we will put a simple cart image, and for the button it is dedicated to be a purchase button. So let's create them a little quick. Alright, so we have created our image view and button. Let's initialize the things and add the subviews, the views that we have just created inside our view did load. For that we have created an initial setup method, which is again a private one. So we will define it now. So let's name it, and we are good. Let's add the bare minimum, which is adding the image view and preview button to it and adding some constraint to it as well. So we will do that real quick. Now we will add a target to our purchase button as well, so that if somebody clicks on the purchase button, we can initialize the purchase. So the target would be self, and action would be the method that we would just define for touch up inside. So we'll write that, and we are good. Let's now create a method which will actually work when we will click on the purchase button. Alright, it would be Objective-C method, and we will name it purchase product. Alright, the method is created, and now we will add some more methods which the Glassfy allows us to use. The methods are like, we can get the products. There is one method to get the products. We can check the permissions, where there is one method for that as well. And finally we have a purchase method as well, which Glassfy SDK provides us. So first off, we will go with the check permissions. So let's create this method for that, and we will write Glassfy. Okay, we need to import Glassfy as well in our target, otherwise we would not be able to use it in this file. Glassfy.permissions. You can see the method, just correct this, with a completion handler over there. So we'll head towards that. Okay, so it is nothing but just checking the permissions, if we are allowed to use that product or say buy that product or not, and we'll just give a sanity check to it by checking if this API is working correctly or not. So if the product that we are going to purchase, or say on which we are making any operation, if that is valid in terms of permission, then we can create some action or write some action for that. So if is valid equals to true, and the product has to be here, so we will create a product as well, which is premium in our case. So we'll create that in a bit. Let's create a product now. There you go, it returns its raw value. Alright, now we are good to go and use the premium product that we have just created. Alright, so you can do whatever you want to over here in this particular if case. Alright, we'll head towards the next method that we have to create. Let's get the product. So this will actually return the SKU. So we will have a parameter inside this, which will be a completion handler, and this will be of escaping closure, which will return a SKU in the response. So that wherever we use this method, we can actually pass on the completion block and actually use that SKU over there. Now we'll use Glassfy.SKU. Now you can see that we have the methods where it demands you to have the ID, and it has a completion block for that. In our case, we know the ID, so we'll go directly with product.premium.raw value. Now we'll write the next method. First fix this error, which is, okay, we forgot to write func over there. So we'll write the method to purchase finally the product. So let's name this method purchase product, but it would be same as the earlier method that we have created in Objective-C. So we'll remove product from it, just name it purchase. We are good with that. And now we will actually pass on a parameter which will be the SKU that we want to purchase, and let's write Glassfy.purchase. It again ask you for the SKU that you want to purchase and the completion. The transaction status will be tracked here, as well as we'll see if there is any error when we try to purchase the item or not. Alright, there you go. Have the transact, check for the errors. If you have the permissions for the product that we are trying to purchase, again checking if it is valid, and it's true, then we'll make certain changes. So you can do whatever you want here again in this case. Let's run the project to see what our UI looks like. So we are running the project on a real device because Glassfy actually promotes to use the SDK on a real device. They highly recommend you to not use the StoreKit config. You can check it out in their documentation as well. If you go for the sandbox environment for App Store, you'd find that they strictly ask you to not go for the config files for StoreKit. Just use it and try it on your real device using the sandbox environment. So we'll just debug the product details. Now we are writing inside our purchase product method, which will be called when we will click on the purchase button. So first off, we are checking that if we have got the product, and then we will just print the details for that product that we are going to purchase. Next off would be to purchase actually the same product that we have just got from the Glassfy SDK using their methods, and this should be inside this closure block. Now let's run the application one more time to see how it looks like. So it needs a self. We will create a weak self, so there is no scope of any memory issues over here, no strong references at all. So self, optional, and not. All right, let's run the application and see how it looks like now. There you go, it runs the application. Click on purchase button. I have just clicked on it on my real device, and shows the detail of the product: monthly premium, unlock all the premium feature, $8.99 according to Indian rupees. And it also asks you to purchase it using my test box environment, the sandbox ID that I have created. Let's write image view should change its image to a flame if our product purchase was successful. So we'll use as a system image. We will name it flame, and let's do the final test after this. It again needs me to add the self, so we'll create a weak self in this one. Again, no strong references, we are avoiding that. We do not want any sort of issues with the APIs that we are using, and we will run the project once again to see how it works. So let's run the application, replace the last created build, click on the purchase button, and it will again show you the logs, which is monthly premium, unlock all the features, $8.99. Now we will actually subscribe to it. So subscribe, and I'll enter the password for my sandbox account, and now I'll click on the sign in button. Okay, our purchase was successful. It will give you a proper alert message as well. Your purchase was successful. So that's how it worked with our sandbox account, and you can also do it by creating yours, and the icon has been changed to flame because our purchase was successful. So guys, that's how you implement and integrate your Glassfy SDK inside your iOS application. It is so easy, so smooth to integrate it, and it took like 20 minutes to do that. So guys, that's all for this video. If you like this, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more such videos in future. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Jai Hind.